Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. My podcast is called Grabbing Coffee with Arun. This is Arun Gala, and in my podcast, I talk to everyday people that are doing interesting things. And as you guys know, I love talking to veterans that have some of the neatest and coolest stories. Today, my guest is Eric Wilkinson. He is a veteran of the Navy. Just to kind of start off with Eric, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. So you're my second
Good.
veteran because the first one I talked to, this guy's in his 90s. So he had a
Wow.
lot of interesting stories to tell me. I started this podcast hoping that I could talk to a lot of veterans because to me, it's just very interesting. I wanted to get in the Navy, but I don't know what happened. I'm not sure why. I wish I would have gone, but I didn't get that chance. So anyway,
Okay.
to kind of start off with, what inspired you to get into the Navy?
Well, it was a couple of things. I to make my decision, I did a lot of weighing of pros and cons, and some of my pros were definitely um that I wanted to travel and see the world, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it at that age and with the means that I had at the time.
Hmm.
I also wanted to make sure I had health care for the rest of my life just in case, something happened to me, for instance, if I would have ended up in a wheelchair or something. And also I wanted to broaden my horizons. I wanted to be introduced to, different people and different cultures and things of that nature.
That's interesting. So, what inspired you to get into the Navy as opposed to the other branches of the military?
Well, I I laugh about it because when I thought about the armies and Marines, I said, "Whoa, boy, that's gonna be a lot of running." And and then when I thought about the Air Force, I said, well, maybe I'm not quite as smart enough as I needed to be in order to do that. So I went with the water aspect of it and chose Navy. And I said, Lord, I'm not even a good swimmer, but help me get through this and make it through this because I know it's going to be minimal running. And I said, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Navy.
Was it difficult to get in when you first initially got in?
At that time, no. It's just a long process that you have to go through. Physicals and testing and signing the paperwork, which basically, you signing a contract. But it's just a long process, and once you go through that, you're in.
Yeah, because you got in 80 August of 87, right? You said.
Yes, that's correct. August of '87.
Hmm. So how
Mhm.
did what did they call you when you first got in? They called you a private or?
No, well, when you first go in, like for instance, once you go in boot camp, uh, they may call you newbies, uh, wet behind the ears. They basically had all kind of names for you. But once you get through boot camp, when you first go in, they basically calling you a recruit.
Hmm.
Until you became more, in depth within your field.
So where were you stationed in the U.S.? What military base?
I was stationed in San Diego. It was, one of the largest naval yards. It was in San Diego on the West Coast.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
right next to it's right next door to the Marine base, Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, that's interesting. So after that, so where did you go after that?
Well, my entire time in the Navy, I was stationed in San Diego. But while I was in the Navy, I went on two overseas tours,
Hmm.
and those tours, I went to several different countries.
So where did you go first that you remember?
Oh, if I remember. When you're in the Navy and on the West Coast, there's always a port overseas somewhere where you're going to do like a lot of refueling and restocking of supplies and um, processing paperwork and all kind of things of that nature. And that base was in the Philippines. It was called Subic Bay.
Hmm.
And So definitely went to the Philippines several times, Sri Lanka, uh, Phuket.
Where in the Philippines is that? Do you remember the island that it was in?
I do not. I'm sorry, I do not. But like I say, it was called Subic Bay,
Hmm.
and to my knowledge, that base is closed now.
Right.
So I'm not sure what where they're going now. But
Right.
also went to Thailand, like Phuket, Thailand, and Pattaya Beach,
Hmm.
Sri Lanka, Madras, India,
Oh, you went
Hong
to India?
Kong.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I went to Madras, India.
Oh, okay.
That was
What do you tell me about that?
well, it was a very eye-opening experience.
You saw a lot of brown people, right?
Uh, yes, I saw a lot of stuff there. Oh man, I just the situation with the cows, that was just really eye-opening.
Yeah.
I trying to you go to those other countries and and seeing how those cultures and operate, it's just a very eye-opening experience. You see a lot of things you're not used to, and good things and bad things. And
Yeah.
one of the bad things that really got to me was seeing, impoverished kids,
Hmm.
eating out of dumpsters and things of that nature.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, and they were constantly running up to us, asking for food or money or or whatever they needed.
You know, Eric, what gets me is like instead of us spending so much money on defense and all these bombs and all that, I mean, we
Hmm.
could use that money somewhere else, you know?
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, I
Yeah,
just
it was a it
I
was a
don't
lot.
understand it, I guess.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
lot to take. It was a lot to take in. Being in my 20s. Being from America, being from Houston, Texas. Just didn't see too many things like that at all.
Yeah. So you kind of moved up in the ranks, I guess, and
Not too much. I was an E4 once I got out. I was kept trying to become an E5, but it was difficult because the way it operated, it was, when it was time to go up in rank, they only allowed so many people to be advanced at one time, and depending on how many people was going up, the high scores only went through.
hmm.
So, so say you might have, only 15 positions open, but you got 100 and some people taking the test.
Right. So that
So,
must be kind of tough, right?
yeah, it was very tough. So if I didn't score in that top tier, it wasn't going to happen.
So what do they do? Do they just assign you different jobs, or how does that work?
No, no, no. You have a job once you go in. Like when I went in as a boiler technician.
Hmm.
Yeah, and boiler technicians fell under engineers.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the type of ship that I was on was called a fast frigate. It was FF 1076 stationed in San Diego,
Hmm.
and they were very small ships, and they were all steam propelled.
Oh, okay. I'm sure
And
they did
boiler.
away with that position now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Those going. Yeah, those most of those ships have been decommissioned, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't think. I'm gonna say that was so many years. We're talking about the 1980s.
So what kind of
So
power?
now,
Oh, it's probably like you said, it's probably nuclear power now, right?
yeah, mostly everything now is nuclear powered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, the steam propelled ships, is much lower.
So
And
how long did you do that boiler technician position?
4 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
4 years. And that was the sole purpose of our job. For
yeah.
the boiler technicians, we were the ones that produced the steam in order for the ship to propel through the water.
Oh. So what did you actually have to do?
Oh well, it, those uh, machines produce steam from boilers.
Hmm.
The boiler was like a big containment center. Where you had a big heating compartment inside of it,
Hmm.
and that's where we had to sit and stand watch, like right in front of the boiler. We had to make sure those flames stay lit in order to keep that box
So,
hot to
so the ship.
produce the steam, and there was all kind of other associated equipment too that that went into that piped in different things into the boiler. It was a combination of things.
Hmm.
They had water going into it,
So the ship can keep moving
oil,
forward, right?
yeah, fire, yeah, in order to produce that steam.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's
it
interesting.
was a lot.
So what else? Let's see. So you did that for 4 years, and then,
hmm
but
And
did
then
you?
after, and then after that, I got out. Yeah, I got out after that.
Yeah, but you went on a second tour too, right?
Yes, yes. And while I was in there, yeah. And the second one is when we was actually going in to patrol the waters of the Gulf of Oman. This is before the Gulf War got started.
Hmm.
We were over there for like 2 months just patrolling the waters before the war actually started. And right before the war started, we were on our way back.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And then it was maybe just a few ports of entry that we went to on the way back and stuff. Of course, the Philippines, like that, and maybe Thailand again, and Oman, and another couple of places I probably can't remember.
So do you speak any foreign languages or not
No,
really?
no, no. I never picked up on any of that. I mean, there's a lot of words and phrases I learned,
Hmm.
but I've since forgotten.
But it tends to when you go, like you say, when you go abroad, and because a lot of Americans, they don't know what it's like, what life is like outside the United States, right?
Exactly,
I mean, we
exactly,
have running water, we have electricity, we got
exactly.
internet 24/7.
Yes, things we take for granted. That's very true.
It's not like that in other countries, like in
Yeah,
India and all that. They don't have. I mean, you got 1.5 billion people almost, and believe me, they don't have electricity all 24 hours, 24/7.
yeah. Oh,
So
things are very different.
yeah.
Things are very different. You're right. I mean,
So
I'll paint this picture. Just, I mean, in one place we was in, the public restrooms, the toilet was in the floor.
right, right.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
that
how different.
I think that's how it is in India, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
how
think
different it
you have
is.
it. Yeah, you have it on. It's it's in the floor.
Yeah,
Because they don't have running water where you just kind of flush the toilet all the time. The
correct.
water
Yeah,
water is kind of rationed, I guess.
yeah. They
So,
probably do now, but back then, yeah, that's very true.
but even now, because India is so like it's pretty small. It's a small country. It's not small. I mean, it's not as big as the United States. It's one third the size of the United States,
Yeah,
but
but it's
it's
very
got like
populated. It's
it's
extremely
it's got
populated.
3 or 4 times the amount of number of people, so it's very
Correct,
dense. It's
correct.
very
Very,
dense.
very populated. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So what was the most challenging thing for you in the Navy that you think? Was it you think a boot camp was hard or what do you think?
Um, Definitely, boot camp was challenging because when I went in, I was a chubby person.
Hmm.
But when I came out, I was much smaller. I lost a lot of weight. And again, I didn't know how to swim. So the most challenging thing was the swimming test.
Oh, really?
But thanks be to God, I overcame everything and all the challenges, and I made it through boot camp and being in the military, and then made it into the Navy. And once in the Navy, uh, just learning how to be a good boiler technician, and and not do anything wrong to cause harm to, myself or my teammates or my other fellow recruits.
You know what I think? I think a military should be required for everybody for at least 1 year because it just teaches you so many things.
Yeah,
Discipline.
yeah,
It
that's
teaches you,
definitely discipline.
right? I mean, I think
Yeah,
it should be a requirement for every kid in the United States, but
yeah,
I mean,
and uh, and team building. Yeah, it's very good at those two things.
yeah, I mean, but anyway, so what was the most enjoyable thing that you learned in the Navy? That you think?
Like I say, going to those other countries. I enjoyed that because, like I said, that was one of my initial goals is to travel and learn different cultures, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Like I say, so much of those things was eye-opening experiences. Like I was in my 20s and I was like, I can't believe people are living like this. And, those kind of thoughts were running through my head.
Yeah,
What was normal for them was, seemed abnormal to me.
right. And
You know,
I keep going back to the amount of money that we spend on stupid things like defense and all that. I
exactly.
mean, we could do so many things in other countries helping people.
It's true.
It just
Very
makes
true.
it makes my heart kind of upsets me sometimes, but I
Uh,
just like, what can you do?
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
We can't do anything. So,
I know, but pray.
yeah, that's all we can do. So you were in the service for 4 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate your service.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to re-enlist, but once the 4 years up, I actually wanted to cross over to another job, but I wasn't able to. So I went on ahead and got out.
So what happens, let's say for example, you're in your 50s or whatever, let's say if somebody wants to go back to the Navy, can they do that?
No, there's an age gap. There's an age cap. I'm sorry, not age gap, but age cap. No, not in your 50s. You can't. I think it only goes up to, I want to say somewhere between 32 and 36.
Once you're done, then you're just done, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's an age cap.
Yeah. So you think overall the Navy helped you in terms of getting started with life and its challenges and
Yes, yes. I don't regret it at all. I'm so glad I went into the military. Um, Opened my mind up, learning new things, uh,
was your
gave me
dad
more.
was your dad in the military also?
Yes, my father was Army.
Oh, he was in the army.
Yes.
There are
Yeah,
four
I pretty
bran
much come from a military family.
Yeah. I think there are four branches, right? Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force.
Well, now there's five supposedly.
What's the fifth one?
Donald Trump invented a fifth one, I think.
Oh, okay, okay. I think
Space Space Corps or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, Space Force
Yeah.
or something. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Space Force, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I had forgotten that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, was there anything
And
else
then
you
there's
want?
also yeah, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and we also have to remember too the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, yeah. But that's
Yeah.
more reserve, like the reserves, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So was there anything else that you wanted to add, Eric, before we wrap it up?
No, no, not really.
I thought
That's
you were,
pretty.
there was some shocker that you were gonna.
No, not too much stuff. No, 'cause I said I didn't experience actual wartime. Uh, but the shocking part was mostly things that I saw in some of those if you will third world countries.
Yeah, because the thing with
You
it is,
know,
the way I look at it is, United States. I mean, we're going to these other countries. We haven't learned anything from Vietnam, from Iraq, from Afghanistan, or whatever.
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. It's not that easy just going and just bombing a country, you know?
It's true. It's very true.
I mean, you're just making more problems. It's not that
Yeah,
easy it's like going and kicking some kid's butt in the neighborhood, and you don't think his parents are going to come after you.
I'm telling you, that's
You know,
true.
it's just
That's so true.
I don't know. America never seems to learn, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah. And then and also, like I said, I didn't experience actual wartime myself, but the soldiers that do, it takes a toll on them. So many of those soldiers come
Yeah,
back with,
there's PTSD and other
yeah,
things and
yeah, with all these, illnesses and
illnesses,
abnormalities and disabilities and all kind of stuff.
limbs missing and all that. It's just
Yeah,
not worth the trouble, I think. But I don't know.
yeah. And I still, I personally wish the United States would do more, taking care of our wounded soldiers.
Yeah, especially the veterans. Yeah,
Yes.
to
Oh
me,
yeah.
yeah, I kind of wish that too.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
really do.
because I hate to see a veteran that's homeless or something. When I hear that, it just breaks my heart.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know.
Exactly.
I really wish we could do more for the veterans.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that would be nice.
Anyway, all right, Eric. So
Mm,
It was good information. Uh, Thank you very much for accepting to do the interview.
No problem,
And,
Aaron. No problem.
and if you guys want to reach me, my email is arun@gmail.com. And thank you for listening to this episode of Grabbing Coffee with Arun. Thanks again, Eric, and thank you for your service.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye bye.